Alright then, so one of the great things about using JSX with React is the fact that we can output dynamic values or expressions inside the template itself, and that's something it would be hard to do with just HTML. So for example, I could create a variable or a constant up here, so let me do that, const, and call it title, and we'll set that equal to welcome to my website. So we have this constant, which is a string. If I wanted to output that somewhere in the template, I could do, dead simply. And all I have to do to output a dynamic value is use curly braces, like this. And then inside that, I can output some kind of JavaScript expression or variable. So I could output the title, and that would output this title right here. So let me save that and let's preview this. And we can see right here, the value of that constant has been output in that paragraph tag. And you can see the paragraph tag right here in the DevTools. Alright, so since this is a title, let me replace the p tag with an h2 instead. Makes more sense. And now we're going to create a subtitle. So a new constant, subtitle, and let's spell this correctly. This is going to hold another string, which I'm just going to paste in, and it says this is a website for learning React. And then we'll output that as well, so paragraph tag, and then we'll output the subtitle like so. So now we have two variables being output in the template. Now, as well as just outputting them here, we can also use JavaScript, some kind of method on these strings, just like we could up here in a function or anywhere else in a script tag. So I could say title and then use a method called toUpperCase, like so. And that's going to work the same way because this returns to us a string, which is then going to be output in the template. So again, let me save this and we'll preview it. And yeah, we can see that new message right here, that new constant, and also the title is now all in uppercase. Alright then, so let's do another couple of examples here. This time I'm not going to create any more constants and output those directly. This time I'm just going to create some kind of expressions directly in the template itself, and that's going to output different values. So let me do a paragraph tag, and first of all we're going to output the date. So we'll say right here, today's date is, and then a colon, then curly braces because we're outputting some kind of dynamic value or expression, and then just as we would in JavaScript, we want a new date object, and then we want to convert that to a string format that's readable, so date string, like so. And that's going to output the string version of the date for us. Alright, so let's do another example. Another paragraph tag. This time we'll say random and number, and curly braces because we're going to output something dynamic. Then we can use the math object, which is readily available to us in JavaScript. We can use that inside these curly braces as well. And on that, we're going to use the random method and then times that by 100. Now this time, this is going to return to us a number, right? And when we output a number inside these curly braces, React is basically just going to turn that into a string format to output to the browser. Alright, so let's save this and preview again. And yep, we can see this date right here and also this random number. And if we refresh, then this random number is going to be different each time around because every time we refresh, that bit of JavaScript in the template is rerunning from scratch. Now finally, I just want to show you how we can output dynamic values inside attributes of tags. So for example, I could have another constant right here, which is named address, and I'm going to set that equal to a string which is a web address, so netninja.dev. And then down here I'll create an anchor tag, and I want this href attribute to be dynamic. Now when an attribute of a tag is dynamic, we don't use quotes, and instead we use curly braces again, because again, when React sees curly braces, it knows that inside is a dynamic value. So I could just output the address variable inside here, and then it will apply this right here, this web address, to the href. Okay, so inside here we'll just say visit the Net Ninja site, like so, and save this. And over in the browser we can see that link, and if we inspect the element we should be able to see that web address right here. Let's click on the link for good measure just so we can see this awesome website, and this is all working. Cool. So that's how we can use dynamic values inside our components, and we're going to be seeing much more of this as we go forward.